everyone. Welcome back to Real Life Goals. Again, my guest is Reaza Ali from Guard Asset Management,
Yes.
a private lending institution. Now, we were talking about the differences between a private person as a lender
Right.
versus an institutional lender. What are the advantages and disadvantages
Yes.
of that?
So I was touching on Guard as being a large entity that the client can come to us and feel very comfortable that they're getting proper terms that
Yes.
are going to be flexible for them and in their advantage as well. So that when it is time for them to leave the private situation, they're going to leave with ease and as least amount of cost as possible.
Yes.
When you're dealing with that individual private investor, and it could be anyone like yourself or myself, with some funds that we want to maybe see a larger return
Yes.
than where it is today.
Yes.
And they feel that putting into real estate is a way of doing so. So the focus is a little bit different for the individual investor as well. They're focused more on return in a lot of cases, and not necessarily always the best interest of the client. And that's the scary part these days, and it's been going on for a long time, is what are the motives behind the private individual investors as well. And some are very good with flexible terms. They close very quickly,
Yes.
whether it's 1 to 2, 3 days potentially,
That's right. Yes.
versus maybe a larger MIC operation. And there are some that will as well. Also touching on the equity type of lending. So some of them won't even consider looking at income. So for clients that are in a real bind when it comes to the income side of their situation, a private individual investor might be the option to go with.
Okay, that's good to know for the clients. Now, I know that on your side, on Guard, you don't charge a lot of fees. Tell us
Correct.
more about it.
So Guard's known as one of the most transparent lenders in the private lending space in Canada. When it comes to fees, and I'll give you the example, when we set up our residential mortgages, we set them up with no lender fee. And
Yes.
we are fully open after the first 60 days of the 1-year open term, which means that the client can continue, yourself as the professional can continue working on the exit strategy for the client to get them to a better financing situation. That could be in 90 days, that could be in 9 months.
Without any penalty.
But they can pay us off without any penalty after the first 60 days.
Wow, that's amazing. Because a lot of private lenders would stick to 1 year, and if you want an exit prior to 1 year, you have to pay at least 3 months interest.
Correct.
As the penalty.
And that's just the interest penalty. The other part of leaving a private lender, you also have to consider are the exit fees.
Yes.
So the fee schedule itself, there are a lot of questions that you need to ask before you even go into that transaction to make sure that you understand all the costs associated in dealing with that in a private lender.
Yes. So right now, I've been dealing with a few private lenders, and what is the lowest rate that you have that you can give to a client with the
So-
best of everything? Say, granted, the client has a good credit,
Right.
has income, only that he's self-employed,
Right.
and the house is in a primary location, excellent. 65% loan to value, not too much debt in the house, more
Right.
equity. Like in that ideal scenario, what is the lowest rate that you can give?
So I'm going to answer it this way, and I will definitely answer that question.
Okay.
I'm trying to change the conversation for 2020 and beyond.
Okay.
Because when you're dealing in the private lending world, it's not just about the rate. Rate is just a component of the overall costs
Yes.
associated. Rate will establish your monthly payment amount, but there's more to it to consider. So the question needs to be, what is the yield that a lender wants to achieve on that particular file? And the yield is made up of a rate,
lender
It could
fees?
be a rate with no lender fee, just like Fisgard
Yes,
offers.
yes.
Or it could be made up of a rate plus a lender fee.
Yes.
And in some cases, others charge an administration fee and an application fee
fees.
as well,
Yes.
just to get into the mortgage. So that's fine. If that's the structure of their business model, but it's something that all clients and professionals need to understand. There's more to it than just the rate. Fisgard, our rate or yield range, I would say, because we don't charge a lender fee on our residential files, is between 7.49 to 10 for first mortgages with no lender fee. And with seconds, because we do second mortgages as well, is between 9.99 to 14 on average with no lender fee. Now, with that said, there is the option of bringing that down by us charging a lender fee. So it's
Yes.
very flexible. But when we look at short-term lending, and you really look at the numbers, for the client not to have to pay a lender fee, in many cases to their advantage, because it does come off the top of the mortgage.
That's right. And you see, the client has to actually add everything, add
Yes.
all the costs. They should stop looking at just the rate. Because aside from the rate, let's say the rate is 7%, some lenders would charge 3% on the
Correct.
lending fee. So you have to add it because that's your cost of borrowing, right?
We have
So
to look at the overall cost, your APR.
Yes,
right?
the lawyer's fees, the broker fee, the exit fee,
That's correct.
everything, right?
That's correct.
And if you want to break that mortgage, what is the penalty clause of that mortgage?
Precisely.
Yes, not just the monthly or the rate, the overall rate.
So I get that question a lot, because everyone is marketed to on rate.
Yes,
Again,
exactly.
we want to be as transparent as possible to the consumers so that they understand a little bit more about the private lending and the lending world in general. There is more to it than just the rate. So with 749 as an example, as a lowest start rate,
Yes.
We can offer 549 with 2% lender fee as an example.
Yes.
Because 749 is the yield
Yes, exactly.
with no lender fee.
Yeah, understood.
That's one example.
Yes, and right now there are so many other things that they would ask us, like the borrowers would ask us, Rose, do you have this rate? How much is the rate? I'm like, I go back to them and said, what is your beacon score? So that I can tell you and how much is your income. Because of the stress test, there are two other factors that we have to consider. So Reaza will
Yes.
play Snap Talk. This is the most exciting part
Okay.
of the whole interview. So no holds barred. Wine or beer?
Wine,
Cash or credit?
cash,
Vacation or staycation?
vacation,
Suburb or city?
suburb,
Oh. Fixed or variable?
fixed.
Fixed also? I thought variable was good.
For me,
Common law or marriage?
marriage.
Oh, so I have to advise my clients, you guys go get married. Lights on or lights off?
Depends on for what.
Oh my
lights,
God.
lights on.
Lights on? Okay, good. Casual or formal?
Casual.
Love or money?
Tie.
Only one.
Oh my gosh.
Pick only one.
I like love.
Love? All of you guys like love.
Oh, I
Yeah.
really do like money, but
Yes? My next guest, he's got too much money.
oh, there you go.
He
I don't have
probably
enough.
pick love too. Dog or cat?
Cat.
All right. So,
Yes.
cat, I have a dog.
Yes.
Well, sadly, our conversation is almost finished. So it's time to say goodbye.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being one of my special guests, actually early guests
Appreciate
for
that.
this show. And say hi to Haley Noble for me.
I will.
Thank you all for watching. And again, we'll see you next week with a real exciting topic and with a very, very good guest at Real Life Goals. Have a great day.